Peace. We back for episode 113. I hope this is be a great show today, and you can help make it a great show. Just come on the podcast and talk. Let your voice be heard. Stop letting me speak for you. Speak for
All
yourself.
right, I went over
We
the
all have a
rules.
voice.
I
Let's
want you to
use it.
protect yourself at
And
all
I'm not.
times, and
I
what I
get
say
into
you
that.
must
Let me
obey.
check and see what's
Good
going
luck.
on YouTube. Did it boot up? Give me a second.
And box.
All right, we good. Um, yeah. What I was trying to say is that we can make companies give us the game we want, and we gotta stop going after each other. There are people in this community that are snakes, crabs, or whatever else you want to call them, and their thing is they try to knock down anybody else that got ideas about the, the sport of boxing. And you can't get mad at people for wanting what they want. And my thing is, I'm for the whole community. I'm for the people that want a casual game, a hybrid game, and a hardcore mode. Stop making a billion excuses for these developers. Anything that I ask for can be done, and I can prove it. So stop with this back and forth, like attacking. People like make it their job to attack what I say, because you're not attacking me. If it make you feel good attacking me, do what you gotta do. But you just looking like a fool. Um, yeah, everything we want in the game, we all gotta come together and speak as one unit. That's what this show is all about. We may have other conversations that we might stick on undisputed. Everything that I say on this show is based on what we want in a boxing video game, not undisputed. All boxing games. The people that's thinking about making boxing games, the people who are actually working on
What are
boxing
you
games.
doing? Don't worry about that round. Don't worry
You
about that
know,
round. Let's
I'm
just
trying
get
to
out
bring
there and let's
awareness
reset.
that
Forget
there
about the
are
round. It
fans
was a bad
out
round, but we
there
don't care. Let's
that
go out
want
there on the
more.
next one.
They want better.
Let's do
And
it.
the thing is, it's so many things that they try to with the developers and the mods and all that they have in the discourse and on Reddit and stuff like that. They like try to divide us, and then they had to try to make these illusions. They don't know what they're talking about. That can't be done. But I can make examples. I can show you games that use examples. And yeah, I got something that I got to say. If you want a truly realistic boxing game, and we gotta be honest with ourselves. Unity is good for what it's good for, but Unreal Engine, like when you do the research on it, is actually the more top tier engine. Let me see. Salute Made for coming in. Sure are people like that. It sucks. You can't have an opinion and valid discourse. I I attack the argument, not the person, but a lot of people worry about being right. Exactly. Exactly. Even when there is no right in the situation. Exactly. Exactly. You said you said it's 100% what you're saying. It's true. Let me get more people in here. Appreciate you, Made, for popping in. Just popping in is just as good as standing here listening to us go back and forth about stuff. Yeah, I'm trying to get some people from Twitter
What
X in
was
here.
that? What are you doing? You've done all that work all the way through camp? And now you're gonna go back out there and lose the match?
Damn,
You
my
gotta get
computer's
out there,
slow.
switch on, and get your.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like we be arguing about some of us. Some of us be arguing about some of the craziest things that really that can be added, that can be added as options. Their thing is they don't want options. No, we want to force people to do this and do that. Yo, what's up with that dictator mentality? I don't even do that, even though I like realistic sim gameplay. That's what I want. But I would not go and be like, hey, you gotta play that way. No. Options. That's what sell a product. It's like you have a store, you might have stuff that everybody can eat or use. But then you got stuff that only adults can use. It's okay to have something for everybody. But the thing is when people are being forced to play something they don't want to play. Especially when they were entrapped with an illusion. They thought they were getting a certain game, and then when the product came out, they felt like that. And then they got to make themselves believe that, well, maybe by me buying this game, the game will get better. It never got better. Now everybody got the illusion that
Okay, are you all right?
Undisputed 2 is
Are
gonna
you
be the
okay?
best game ever. Not if they're thinking like this. So what do people think about them making a new game with the same thought patterns that they got for this game? Cause they kinda don't see nothing wrong with the game. They think instead of fixing this game and then moving on to another game is a better idea. No, you fix this game and fans, you see how fans, be like, thank you for fixing the game.
Listen, you've switched
And
up.
then you
What do you
like
do?
build up your
Get your
fan
mind back
base
on the
again.
job. That was a
Then you
god
move over
awful
to
round,
part
I
two.
tell you.
But not in a mix. You don't be like, well, we're gonna fix a little bit on Undisputed One, and then we just gonna give them part two. Well, how can you trust you? We can't trust you. Some people don't care. They're like, Poe, you shouldn't even. Oh, Lamont Davis, what's up, my guy? You popped up in here. Let me see what popped up in here. It's 2026. Everything can be toggle options. Exactly. Exactly. It's no excuse. The thing is, they're trying to force fans to accept certain things. It's easier to make certain games. Like if you want an arcade game, it's easier than a hardcore game. But technically, it's not if you have the right people in place. Let me see. Same brother, I play sim or die, but would never tell others they have to. Exactly. Plus, you need all options for growth of a game or to not pigeonhole yourself. Exact 100%. What's up, E-Boxing Champions? Says salute, Poe. And Chad, I agree. Options are best for the player base, but worse for the
You're
devs.
taking too much to
It
fight
takes
is over.
more work. That's the thing. They don't put the right people in place because if you could get like 3 or 4 devs, they focus on the options, and the other devs deal with the other parts of development. But they keep making it more like we can't do this and we can't do that. It can be done. Yeah, you can't do it because they didn't add the right people and you can learn from them. Let me see. May 365. How you doing, my guy? That's what E Boxing Champion said. Um, Picked up a shift at the office and I'm salty. Rather be boxing. Blaster X, salute for you popping in. Those players won't know what they aren't aware of. No dev team studios can take advantage of that. Yeah, cause this my thing right here. And see, I always think, see, that's why I be telling y'all with the psychology stuff, I try not to get too deep into it.
This bout is
But I books and stuff like that, even though I don't look like I'm the most intelligent person ever, but trust me, I am. I'm just not a talker. That's why you might see me stuttering or all that. I love big words and everything like that. But I'll be like, because I'm not a people person. It used to freak me out when I was in the boxing ring and I looked out and I see crowds of people looking at me. I'm like, wow. I said, I hope this don't distract me. So I had to focus like when I start boxing, I had to make sure that I left the crowd out of my mind. I just like blocked them out. Let me see. Gotta do it sometimes. No rest for the wicked. Yup. Hold up, man. What you mean no rest for the wicked? Yo, what you call it? Made wicked? No, I'm playing with you. I know what you mean. EBC. You know that whole time I was up there, he kept saying EBC. I was like, is he saying ESBC? And he just missing the S. And then I'm looking. I see what he means. That line of my favorite sports. You know my favorite games. No rest for the wicked. Oh, okay, okay. Nah, let go, Poe. Get deep. No, I don't like getting too deep into psychology because a lot of people they'll be like, what you saying? But when I that's why Brisbane wouldn't do the interview because he knows that the way I say certain things, I could get Brisbane to tell me his life story. As I used to be talking to, I make him comfortable. And we all start talking like we friends, and you know, there's no worry in the world. And then boom, you telling me everything I ain't supposed to know. Ash did that. I was like, Ash, man, don't tell me nothing. Don't tell me nothing. It turns people off. Yeah, so yeah, it does. Like when I start talking about certain things, like start dealing with psychology or anything like that, people feel like you're actually talking to them about stuff, but it's not. It's definitely not. Me, I like reading people too. You look at people's behavior and patterns and stuff. I'll sit there all day. I go downtown North and I'm looking and studying people. I used to get a kick out of that, just studying people. Then the next day, I'll see the person and I see that they do the same thing over and over and over. I just do the patterns. You know, I've watched the person. And that was one of my things in boxing. You watch a person pattern and you can see, you're going to see that they do the same thing over and over again. And boom! Catch him. Catch him in between that pattern and switch up. Let me see. Oh yeah, I got some things I want to read through a little bit. And it might get some people angry because it's about Unity and Unreal Engine. A lot of people keep saying Unity and Unreal Engine, there's really no big difference between them. But if you really look under the hood, Unreal Engine is a deeper engine than Unity. It's a deeper engine. And you know, it's a lot of things that Unreal Engine can't do that Unity can do. And it's not vice versa. You can't be like, it's a lot of things that Unreal Engine, that Unity could do in Unreal. It doesn't. They don't switch up like that. Let me read this. I'm gonna read a post that I was working on. This, let me see. Yeah, I was talking about if boxing as a sport disappeared tomorrow, would a realistic boxing game sell? And will its audience accept that? whatever a company gives them. All right, this how
Okay,
I
now
set
you're
it up.
switching off. You're starting to
Now,
make
if
mistakes. You're switching
boxing
off. Get your mind
stop
back on
being
the
a
job.
thing,
That's a terrible round, that is.
and I already got the whole synopsis, synopsis of it, because if boxing stopped today, or let's say it stopped last year or before Steel City made again, if it just stopped in general, it's gonna still sell well because the thing is, because that's the excuse people use. Boxing not doing that well, so a boxing game not gonna sell. That's not how things go with sports games. If baseball stopped yesterday, fans would still buy a baseball game. If a basketball game stopped it being a thing, fans would buy it. It's just that we already have what basketball was. We have what baseball was. If boxing stopped, we know what boxing was. So you're going to get people, maybe the casual fans like now will not accept it at first, but the hardcore fans and sports fans, they will buy it. It will do the same numbers if it's realistic, the mechanics there and everything. Casual fans, recognition versus quality. Casual players usually buy sports games to fight with or against stars they know. Ali, Tyson, Mayweather, Pacquiao, etc. Casual fans don't know that many boxers. They just know the ones that they hear people talk about. And then they try to be fans of them. But if they're not really like out there, they don't know them. So who really gonna be buying these boxing games? Who really supports boxing games in the long term? It's gonna always be the hardcore fans. The people that you keep ostracizing. It's crazy.
You want to win this fight?
You saying,
Don't
no,
worry about that round. Let's
casual
go out
fans
there,
is gonna
let's
give you the
reset.
upfront
Forget
money.
about that round. It's a bad round, all right? But we don't care.
And that's
go
not
out
gonna
there
be
and win.
enough
Good
to
work. That's it.
survive.
Breathe. Breathe. Just get
Because
your
the casual fans gonna give you that one-time money, but the hardcore fans will keep supporting the game long term. So who is more important? Is it really the casual fans? I'm just trying to understand that. It don't make sense. Is the casual fans really more important, or is it the hardcore and the sports fans? Let me see what y'all think. Look for vids related to being able to work with Unity on Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, I did some search. That pattern recognition is probably what makes great box. Exactly, it does. A lot of guys do things automatically without realizing. Exactly, that's what you constantly do stuff over and over again. It may get boring and stuff like that. I didn't know at first. I wasn't really paying attention to it. But my uncle said, what you do all the time, you do it without thinking. When you spar and stuff, because I used to love sparring. So what I'm doing every time in sparring, that's what I'm going to transfer over to a real fight. Downloading data. SCI should have an announcement ready for now. Yeah, that's crazy. They should have brought the new year in with an announcement. It makes sense. That's why I say, and I know y'all might be listening, your marketing is trash. Yeah, Steel City, your marketing is trash. I don't care who it is. They're trash. They're very much, they trash. They trash. Making me mad though, but yeah, and your people that's promoting the game, trash. Even though I know Turkey is helping, but he's not helping. He knows. He even knows this game is a failure. That the game is trash.
Come on, you're getting back into this. You're better than this, kid.
And I'm saying it
Go back out
respectfully.
there and win the round.
No, hey, it's people still playing the game. I know, but I'm speaking for myself and those that understand what I'm saying. Unreal Engine is the leasing engine now. Not saying best, just leading. Exactly, it is. E-boxing champions say realistic boxing games are marketing tools for the sport of boxing, like other sports games are marketing tools for their sports. Exactly. And the thing is, they trick us with the word realistic. Now, Still City, they tricked us with realistic sim. They said it in videos. I got it. And then we'll start changing it because when we say authenticity, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be realistic. Everything going to be realistic in the game. Okay, let me see. May said haven't gotten too dig into what's going on too much yet, but it looks like Unity and Epic may be working on something together. Unity devs may be Unity devs may be able to work through Unity 5 or something. Gotta do more research. I thought Epic was happy with Unreal Engine because that's what the Fortnite series is on. And that's crazy. Will used to work at Epic and he didn't recommend Unreal Engine immediately. I know that they were looking out for aimbot because that's not what he knows. And forgive me if you went to school to learn Unreal Engine. I don't know, but I know he was proficient in Unity. Let me see. Casual
back
pick.
into the fight that round. That's his round.
Casual
Get out
quick
there,
buck.
switch
Hardcore
on, get this
gamers are
boxing back
retention
together.
and long term.
I need you to
Exactly.
switch
It
back
makes
on.
sense
Get
for the
Great round, great round. Now,
because
relax.
the way
So just
people are
keep him on the
today,
end of this.
they're not going to accept. You think that the hardcore fans going to be like, hey, it's a boxing game, I'm going to play it regardless. They're not. Them casual games like Mike Tyson Punch Out and all that, they do not sell anymore. They do not sell. Now you got to trick people. And my thing is, this is what y'all got to do. Y'all got to speak up. Like, hey, we're going to sue you because you forced advertising stuff. What's up, Mike? Mike Adams. The marketing is trash. The promotion is trash. Turkey just wanted to position himself. They even released Fatal Fury again. Yeah, but that fan base is that fan base. They ain't got nothing to do with boxing. You know, when Turkey was talking to, I keep forgetting his name. He has an African name. And I keep forgetting it. But they were talking, Turkey wanted to really be involved in this game, and Steel City pushed them out. Or somebody in the Steel City recommended that we don't have Turkey out of sheep, which is the stupidest thing in the world. And that makes you think that they sabotaged this company. Let me see. You know who it is. You know who it is, Mike Adams. Let me see. I hope Undisputed 2 takes out the horrible lean back mechanics. Exactly. It shouldn't be that far back, and there should be a time for it. There should be a timeout for it. Epic is extremely happy with Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, they are. I'm saying to your point about difference between Unity and Unreal. Okay. Will Kenza is the enemy of the Undisputed Game. Man, that joke is the enemy of boxing. It's like he pretending that he like boxing. He like he done changed up. I'm a hardcore boxing fan, and that is the only reason I play this trash game Undisputed. I be seeing people saying that. They be telling me that. They be saying, man, I'm a boxing fan, but
Nice
hey,
round.
we ain't
Good
got
round.
the,
I
I
like
can't
that.
do it. I can't do it. I'll be on here like beast, so I'll be worse because my thing is I'll be always saying something about the mechanics. And when people be saying, Poe, what's going to satisfy you if the game was fixed? If it was what ESDC was, that would satisfy me. Why should I accept something I don't want to? I don't even think I played Cowboys and Indians because it was fake. My brother used to play all the army men and stuff like that. But I'm letting y'all know how old I am. No, I meant, okay, let me see. He even put friends as characters in Fatal Fury. Oh yeah. I remember him saying something like they was gonna do that. Studios gotta remember what made classic games. They support both
Okay, are
crowds.
you all right?
Exactly.
Are you okay?
Exactly. And that thing is they trying to make the fan base be larger by just having it online and stuff like that. They try. That's why I keep telling everybody they're being slick because it's easier for them to make the game off of their own computer, off their own server. So they didn't really want to sell this at first, but they know they would have lost a lot of fans. But they think companies trying to force everybody to play digitally. And my thing is, if you force fans to play a game digitally, you shouldn't charge them the same price. Because to me, when something is being copied off of something, it should be way less. Video, PC games usually are less in price than the hardcore games. You said Fatal Fury looks like hot garbage. Studios got it. Oh, I read that. Now let me finish reading this blog
What are
right
you
quick.
doing? You switched off
Um,
completely. The fight's not over yet. You gotta go out there and win this round. You had
all
everything in
right,
the bag.
casual
Now you're
fans
putting back into it.
recognition versus
Do your
quality.
business.
Casual fans usually buy sports games to fight with or against stars they know. Ali, Tyson, Mayweather, Pacquiao, etc. If a game has 600 boxers, but most casuals only recognize 10 or 15 of them, the sheer quality should be overwhelming and even aligning. Alienating. See, that shows like, let's say Steel City added 600 boxers to the game. Casual fans gonna say, I don't know
You're
this
taking
guy.
too
I
long.
don't
The
want him
fight is
in the
over.
game. They literally said it. Even if they ain't paid for the boxer, if he was free to the game, they will say, I don't care about that boxer. He shouldn't be in the game. But you taking away from the hardcore fans. You taking the kid away from the people that know these boxers. Especially if they add the boxers in the game and they fight exactly according to the boxers. Exactly if they had exactly the right mechanics in the game that you enjoy the game. It feel like you're watching a real boxing match. They're doing everything they're supposed to do. Marketing would need to emphasize playable legends and dream matchups, not the full roster. A top heavy roster is key. People play the few names they recognize. Casuals appeal will rely heavy on presentation, commentary, and cinematic flair because mechanics alone won't hook someone who doesn't follow the sport. That's what I'm saying. The stuff that they're putting out is for casual fans, and some of it they're like, nah, this is missing. They notice that certain things is missing, but the hardcore fans, mechanics and death. Hardcore boxing fans care about simulation fidelity, tendencies, variety, stamina, footwork and angles, defensive behaviors. A game with 600 boxers becomes appealing because of the realistic differences, historical authenticity, and the ability to create classic fights. Features like career mode, trainer promoter systems, online matchmaking with realistic AI, and
This bout is scheduled for 8
legacy
rounds of
tracking
boxing.
will be
Fighting
massive
out of the
draws.
red corner,
For
from
these
Buenos
fans, the
Aires,
number of
Argentina,
boxes
here is a
isn't
unified and
overwhelming. It's a
sensational middleweight
treasure
champion of the
trove of
world,
strategy
Sergio
and
Maravi.
mechanism variety. See that shows that the hardcore fan base is more important actually
All right,
than
I
the
went over
casual
the
fans.
rules. I want you to protect yourself at
We
all
stay
times.
around for all these different things if they were
Let's
added.
go.
The casual fans, they moved on. Half of them moved on. Some of them still hanging on, hoping and stuff like that, but they don't care about this game. Even if it was fixed, trust me, after a while they would have moved on anyway. because casual fans not really that big on. What's up? Precisely. Let me see. If Undisputed had good mechanics, SCI would have had to lean so heavy into adding more and more boxes that doesn't make the game better for a lot of people. It doesn't. They keep adding people. I mean, they keep adding boxes and people accepting it. Brain ESBC back. You put the hashtag in here. Yeah, people keep. They're not saying nothing. They just accept. They get super happy as soon as they put. They doing exactly. I know is this gonna trigger people? They're doing. You see how the Fight Night Forever game is. People are excited about skins. Now, once Steel City do the same thing, people gonna run back and say the same thing. Hey, yeah, they got such and such in the game. The game is fixed. They didn't do anything extra to the game. They didn't. They're not gonna do anything extra to the game. I'm like almost certain they moved on. Let me see. People are still looking forward to DLC. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. It's sickening. Yeah, it really is. Some people really only care about aesthetics and roster. Maybe Undisputed is a good name for them. Not me though. Undisputed actually has 215 boxes right now. That I ain't even noticed that. And I still hear people say they only got 70 boxes. That shows that they're not paying attention to anything that's going on. But yeah, and they got more than that. They got way more boxes than that signed and stuff that they got to renegotiate with because they got mad because Steel City was waiting too long to put them out there. With EA, they'd have been dropping them, boom, 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 every week or every other week. Steel City, they just like they don't know what they want to do. I bet you they still thinking, should we drop more DLC, like heavy, how many we should drop and stuff like that. Because they got to keep fans interested while they're working on Undisputed 2. Let me finish reading it. Longevity and community. Even as casual players are scarce, hardcore fans can sustain modern communities, tournaments, and online leagues. With 600 boxers and deep mechanics and community content, like creating fictional matchups or modern obscure boxers could prolong the game's relevance for years. If the game is sold as a historical and simulation-focused experience, it would thrive amongst enthusiasts and even without mainstream boxing hype. See, that's exactly what I'm talking. See, they're like trying to exclude the hardcore fans. They're not like hey, we got talking boxing talk. They're not talking like hey, such a guts have his style, it's everything. Imagine if they fought. They're not talking like boxing fans. No matter, even though they say they are, they're not talking like a boxing. Because even your moderators and community managers should be talking like boxing fans to the community. But they're talking business-wise. They're not talking as boxing fans. Marketing consideration. Casual players may need hooks like Ali vs. Tyson. They might have to do like EA did. They got to do the cinematic trailer for Ali vs. Tyson or another major boxer. They got us for the casual player. They got simplified controls or arcade mode, or have an arcade mode. They got the for a casual fan. They got to highlight the story of 20 to 30 boxes to make the game approachable. They see what I was saying. Now a hardcore mode, for them to hook hardcore fans in, over 600 boxes with unique tendencies, realistic physics, deep career systems, footwork, angles, gameplay that reward skill and strategy, historical recreation, realistic sell potential. high potential amongst niche enthusiasts. Could sell well to hardcore fans globally if executed with deep mechanics and historical accuracy. Limited mainstream success. Casual gamers will need guidance or cinematic hooks to care about the enormous roster. Without it, sales would likely plateau. Essentially, it will be a cult hit with a passionate core, not a mainstream blockbuster, but a well-designed simulation to turn hardcore fans into evangelistic, keep sales steady over years. Yeah, hardcore fans will keep a game going. They will keep a game going, and it's like Steel City is disrespecting the hardcore fan base. No matter what they say, it's like they intentionally disrespecting the hardcore fan base. But when your casual fan base move over to play these other games, you lost out on a fan base. Because casual fans, I mean hardcore fans, move on to something else that's worthy of their attention. Let me see what y'all saying. Um, Mike Adams said, "I wish they put a ref in clinching. They really need to add those. They probably won't now. Blame that
Right.
on
Let's go out there
DC.
and get your
Yeah,
boxing
they're
back
blaming
together.
everything on
Listen,
DC.
the smart would
That's
go
why I
out
be
there, take
saying
the round
fans.
off and win the
What's
round
up,
on the
Leafy?
jab. Okay,
That's why I be
Peppy, I
saying
like that
fans
round.
be
Good work.
accepting what they
Good
be
work
doing. They
ethic.
just
Did
keep
all that
taking out.
work
They
in
take out
camp.
every
You
little
gotta get
thing
out
and
there and
blame it on
switch on
DC.
it.
Down the middle, you can't miss him.
Everything. They take with the material on the boxing trunks. They were moving and stuff. They made it like stiffer, so it don't like cause desync according to them. But I think it's the way they coded the game. That's the problem. It has nothing to do with no desync. Undisputed could have been really interesting. This is what e-boxing champion saying. Undisputed could have been really interesting as the only game to do one thing that no other boxing game ever did before. Fighting in the clinch would have probably worked. Exactly. It would have worked, not could have. It would have worked. Pound for pound, welcome back, my guy. That's what e-boxing champion said. How's it going, e-boxing? Another day, another dollar. Say heck yeah. Yo, oh yeah, I want to say this. I apologize to Ori because I'm trying to keep the content creators, engaged. I want them to engage with us. I apologize to him if he felt I was attacking him. I wasn't attacking him, and I can't speak for what AJ Pack says, because he's his own character. I mean, his own person. So we both gonna have our own different way we see things, but we respectfully, I let him have his talk and I let people defend themselves unless they get too out of the way. You were doing a good job defending yourself, so yeah. I had nothing to do with the way that he was saying, what he was saying. 'Cause he thought that all of us was attacking him. We wasn't attacking him. They can't even put Andre Ward undisputed without clinching for Isaac. They can't put Bernard Hopkins in there.
Big deep breaths. Calm yourself
Yup,
down.
Jack
Calm
Johnson
yourself down.
did
Come
some
on,
clinching.
breathe.
There's a lot
You
of
need to go
boxers
back
that
out
did
there and
clinching.
you
That's
win
that's
this
the
round.
previous
Get
thing.
your mind.
Great work, I love
Exactly.
it. I love
But
it.
you let
Jab slick.
but if you let a
Start
casual
getting
fan
shots up.
dictate it,
Go
they'll
get
say
ready.
no, no.
Go back out there.
Even
Take it
though
out.
Fight
He's
Night
too tired.
Champion has
He's not
clinching in
getting
it.
back up.
You've been
Fight
coasting
Night
for this
Champion has
entire fight.
clinching in it.
Do your
But
business.
fans say some crazy stuff. Siri, what's man, y'all crazy, man. Why you bring that up? Leafy, why you bring that up, man? Talking about Siri, what time is it in the UK? Had me rolling last night. Haha, no, Cole. You were pretty people. AJ was breaking his own ball. Yeah, I think it's just that's what I think he was getting at him. But I was trying to keep the peace. My thing, because if y'all notice, I always want everybody to have their say in here, respectfully. I ain't gonna let nobody try to bully me in the chat or nothing like that. You might try to bully me and I might just get rid of you. But other than that, it's not that me getting bullied because I'm scared of you or something like that or just words, bro. Why should I have to look at you saying nonsense in the chat? You like destroying the whole energy in the room in the chat. Let me see. Lawrence Oakley without clinching, it's unbelievable. More hugs, more than a weapon. Yeah. It's 9:06 in the UK right now. I know that much. Y'all shout out, man. Y'all crazy, man. Y'all ain't gonna let that go, is y'all? Even round four had a clinch and clinch defense. Exactly. That's why I be saying, because people, like, I said this quite a few times. Still City had games that did certain things that came before it. So there shouldn't be an excuse like we don't know how to do it and no game before us. Because they love to say games had problems before us. Yeah, they set the blueprint for you to make a great game. You said they failed, but their failure is supposed to be your success. That's how I always that's how I always thought the the someone else's failure could be somebody else's success because you see what they went through after 10, 15, 20, or even 30 years. Games had referees in different aspects in a video game, but y'all like it's hard to do. The thing is, and I'm gonna say it again, y'all don't have the right developers on your team, and a lot of your developers are lazy. They can hate me, unfriend me, or whatever they want. I don't care what they're gonna do. Hurt my feelings? No. Must be thinking they hurt my feelings. Something you just make me a little frustrated, but they don't hurt my feelings. Get your punk butt out of here. Fight Night Round Four has much better vulnerability to it. Yeah. My thing, who was that up? Yeah, with that conversation I was having with yesterday, when I was trying to explain what vulnerability really is. I mean, from the aspect of a boxer, because a lot of people were saying that, like I was saying, there should be different levels of you getting hit, and each one on, because you be like, damn, he hit me with a right hand. Because if you fight Mike, I mean, let's say you fought George Foreman, he glazed you in a fight in a game. He glazed you with a punch. It wasn't a full on punch, but it dazed you a little bit. That's vulnerability. You know you can't take another punch like that. It glazed you and it hurt, and it have your boxer wiggling a little bit. Stuff like that. If they had me in the studio, it'd be like I'd be a professor in the studio. It's things like that makes vulnerability. Vulnerability means you don't really want to get hit with that same punch over again. You get hit to the body. You feel that you're vulnerable. Now you should be able to you start putting your hands down because hey, it did something to my boxer. That's a vulnerability. I think 8 o'clock. I think because he were debating about yeah, it was clockwork. And I think that's what probably he probably thought I was trying to attack him and stuff. No, he gave his own opinion, but I'm talking about what can be added in the game realistically. A lot of people be saying, "Poe, what you want can't be put in the game. It'll take too much time." No, it's not. Just because Steel City is taking forever to put things in, or they don't intentionally want to put things in, they got to make the illusion that it can't be done. And I could give y'all proof of it can be done. If a person wanted to kick his feet in the air like Emmanuel Augustus, it can be done. People be saying what can't be done in the game. A lot of people are like, well, it can't be done in a boxing game the way Emmanuel Augustus fight. Boom! Emmanuel Augustus is in the game. Somebody that fights like Emmanuel Augustus. Even though I rather that they did the procedural AI instead of using the motion caption by itself, he would have looked it more authentic. Even though for a person that don't have that visual eye, like artistic eye, they'll say there's different things that they could have did to make him a little more better than what he is. I know I'm nitpicking, Yeah. Yeah, it was orange. Thanks. I appreciate y'all. What happened with Clockwork Orange? I like his videos. He stick it to SI and deservedly so. No, it's just that he was saying certain things and everybody started getting on it.
This
And I
bout
think um AJ Pax got on him the hardest. I was like, I was leaning back, I ain't want to have nothing to do with it. Cause my thing is if you could get certain content creators, at least make one video letting Steel City know that there is a fan base that want a realistic boxing game. We all could constantly promote it. I would keep putting it on LinkedIn and everything, but it's like these content creators scared that Steel City. People don't realize they shouldn't be scared. Steel City should be scared. They're scared to not get approval. For Steel City to give them things, give them the first this or the first that. But once that wear off, your fan base gonna start shrinking, and fans gonna start looking at you. Like you really can help make a difference, but you chose the route of promoting a company that already has marketing and promotions done in it, and they try to make it seem like your voices doesn't mean anything, and y'all voices mean a lot. I wish I would have started making videos like when I was helping EA. You know, I used to make them maybe once in a blue moon, or one of my friends would do a show and they invite me on it. And everybody kept saying, "Oh, you should start right now. You should." I would have probably been I would have been a good YouTuber. Even though to me, I don't have a personality to be a YouTuber. You gotta have a personality, and I can't like do over the top stuff. Maybe if I had my room set up like a gym and stuff like that, it'd probably be a better situation. I forget to when I go to my son's house, I forget to get my gym bag. I want to show y'all my boxing jackets and my gloves and stuff like that. One of my boxing
Come
cups.
on, you're better
I have
than
a
that.
leather
You've
cup.
completely switched
It's
up. Get your
has
mind
green
back on
suede
the
on
job.
it, and that is a old cup. I probably could get a couple of thousand for it if I wanted to be that type of person. Because it's the company name is Chevlin. It's like that cup itself is worth some money. But I was trying to give it to my son, but my son he fell out of love with boxing early because people keep saying that's what your father did. You shouldn't do it. And when you're working and trying to raise your son, that's crazy. People put certain things in their mind. He waited till he got, I think, 19, 20. I said, you wait to get 20 years old and then tell me that you want to start boxing. I said, nah, man. I said, no, it made me upset like I was going to waste my time. I think Princeton Nassim is coming soon. I think it's gonna be like they gotta have 3 hitters back to back to back, and they're gonna try to stretch it out. And this the funniest thing. Like if let's say they drop because Zab Judah's in the game, they drop a Zab Judah Floyd Mayweather, they drop that as a package, or they do the Money Mayweather package. They drop that like next week, or they talk about it next week. And then you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna work 3 months. Everything gonna be 3 months drops or 2 months drop. And fans they're gonna be accepting that. And my thing is like, man, the community make it easy for them to keep doing the certain things that they do. Yeah, the community makes it easy for them to do certain things that they do. What's up, Solo? Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you popping in.
Okay, you let him back into that fight, and that's his round. I need you to go back out there
Yeah,
and
we
win
was
this
talking
round.
about some different
Come
things.
on, you're switching up.
Do your business.
Oh yeah, let me see what else I was reading. All right. market size versus passion. Casual fans are a much bigger audience, even if hardcore fans are deeply. They relatively few. They are relatively few. Game publishers often chase volume because a small passionate niche doesn't always cover development costs. Boxing is not a niche. It's like companies keep using that so they don't have to do more. Boxing is not a niche because it's a global sport. It's more people that. Let me see what it says.
One, two, three, four. Five.
Now
You
they
okay?
want to act up. All right, it's the man, the myth, the legend, DJ Pat, the troublemaker.
What's up, Poe?
What's up? They called you a troublemaker.
Yeah, I was reading the chat room. But you know what? Seeing that they brought up the topic. Seeing they brought up the topic on them, right? If we were talking about flash KOs and it being random, a lot of people said he was saying that, but he didn't want to talk on it. He didn't have the time yesterday to come on live to speak on it, right? But here's the thing. In the meantime, I went to a Clockwork Orin Combat's YouTube channel, and I clicked on videos, and you know when you click on the videos, then there's a internal search on the actual channel itself. So I did a quick search, and I looked up, I typed in random, or something to do with random KOs, or anything to do related to that. Nothing came up. He's never did a video on that topic before. So this is what I'm saying. People, they're saying it's random, and when the moment that they say it, I say, oh yeah, so like you mean like Mario Kart, right? It has some kind of, it's trying to balance out from first to second place. But the thing is, nobody wants to make the video content to prove it. It's all what's the word called again? It's that word, man. When it's like it's basically fiction, but there's a better word for the word fiction. It's like it's like a story of a story of a story told me this kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
What's that called? Anecdotal. It's anecdotal evidence. If you want to know the scientific term for that, anecdotal evidence. Anecdotal evidence don't stand fucking don't mean shit in the court of law. It's bullshit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But here's the thing. Besides Oren, there's nobody who wants to make a video on that topic. Either it's too difficult to prove, or people are just get caught up in the feelings when they take a L.
Yeah, because I was trying to say why these content creators don't make videos speaking for the what the fans keep saying. It's like they say stuff just enough to keep a fan base. They're like they're not going against Steel City.
E-boxing champion Lamont Davis saying what's up. But yeah, man. But all jokes aside, when Oren was saying that it was like, what is it, 3 o'clock in the morning, he's taking his break. Okay. But I never. To me, I figure he'll come on the video or no video because he makes content already.
Yeah. I don't know.
1, 2, 3,
What I do know is nobody could prove the flash KOs are random.
9, 10, you're out.
You said they random?
I don't think they're random because okay, there's a pattern to the flash KO. One of the patterns is if you beat a guy's body down enough and you break and you reduce his long-term stamina. That's one way that triggers it because you have no more stamina and you throw that punch and boom, you get catch after, right? But also to your health. I haven't seen too much of the health. I don't think the health bar gets too mashed up. It's the stamina bar gets mashed up the most.
Yo, Candyman, Candyman. Yo, y'all. Will this not
That,
be an episode with us talking back and forth about this one topic?
yeah, Aura, that's what I'm saying. I only know what I know. That's what I'm saying. You know more about this flash KO and random number generator shit, man. That's what I'm saying. To come on and educate everybody about it. I can't educate people about it because I don't see it. But I know what Mario Kart is.
Yeah. He said, "Go check out my last two patch reviews. I mentioned it in both."
Oh, but yeah, but that's hidden. You have it. You have the information hidden. You need to make a video specifically pointing the finger that flash KOs is random. It has to do with random number gen. It has to be entitled like a clip, or even clip your own video. Take your own video that you say it and clip it into something else. Because nobody. Because here's the thing: nobody. People are saying it, but no one's proving it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really, I don't know. 'Cause like I said, I can't really say too much, but I know what I see on screen when I see people play. You know, like you filling in the information
This
for
bout
me
is
because
scheduled for 8
I
rounds
don't
of
think
boxing.
I think a boxing video game should function like realistic boxing.
Let's
If
go.
your chin is not really there, it's you supposed to look be chipping away. That's why I hate that we got the bars and stuff like that. I don't think we should actually see that we're punching somebody and their health and stuff go down. It should be visual thing or internal thing that we can see, but it is actually happening.
I mean, you could see your own, but your opponent. Well, no, say it again.
You know, if you
Say it
see,
again.
yeah, like you don't really have to see yours or your opponent. It should just be y'all both boxing and fighting, and you like see little cues on a person, just like a
Right.
real
Okay.
boxing match.
So then, it comes down to just the fact that if we do it, the fact that we're seeing these bars for like health and stamina, whatever, right? The
Yeah,
reality then is that the player is going to be able to use it. They're going to be able to use it. They're going to use it to spam, exploit, whatever kind of thing.
yeah. And if you can't do it, if you don't see no bar, you won't be doing that because you don't know where your health really is at. You don't really know if you're setting yourself up. Like you could be throwing a lot of punches and your arms are fatigued and weary and stuff, and your opponent he just waiting, sitting back for you to stop. Now you set yourself up to get hit because you can't really
So
block or do anything.
I think one way that in order to get that to happen is that okay, if you're going to remove the health bar and the stamina bar, you have to have. So
Yeah,
it goes back to visual cues. Then
yeah,
you have to see the guy laboring, or you have to see that when he takes a shot, you can see it more, kind of thing, right? But
yeah. But everything is not gonna be
ah,
like. Let's say a
haptic,
person not going.
the
Oh
haptic.
yeah,
We need to make use of the haptic, man. Either the haptic
yeah,
has to be a breathing functionality in the control, or it's some it has to be used in order to get rid of those bars somehow. So that way you feel more immersed than visual cue watching it or watching a bar instead.
yeah. Makes sense. Let me see. That kind of gives some players an excuse to explain. I mean, to complain. Or what do you mean? I feel like a lot of people say that about Fight Night too, but it seems like it's a subtle mechanic that you can actually learn or master at least in round four. Yeah, everything
Hey,
should be about you learning to do better at certain things. They do
hey,
with fighting
um,
games, while boxing is different. What'd you
hey,
say?
Flash KOs. Here's a good one. I could bet you nobody out there who's listening and spread the word that you can make a video in Undisputed, where however you want to make the video and have a man just stand in the middle ring. His stamina's full. Everything's full. His health bar is full, and it's impossible for the other guy to come up and hit him with a haymaker and knock him out cold. Because if it was possible, then that could probably prove your flash KO theory.
Yeah, that makes sense. That kind
That's
of makes
one.
sense.
But then also too, you still have to take in consideration if we were to really say, okay, the chin attribute, everything.
Yeah.
Like if
You
Mike
get-
Tyson was to
you
hit
get a-
you, he can
Yeah.
finish if you don't protect yourself, right? But
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how would you prove this random generator.
That's a good way to prove it because you can pick different fighters and you just punch them in their face or whatever. And keep punching, see how long it takes for them. Then you gotta look and see which round or what is it doing. It shouldn't take. If it was random, you would then get knocked out round one. The one punch should be the part of randomness. That's how I feel. I'm just
You
speaking
wanna win this
from
fight?
boxing
Right.
knowledge. I'm
You've been
not
coasting
speaking
this
from
fight, and now you're
the
gonna let him
game
get
knowledge.
back in.
So a lot of people always try
Now
to
it's a
correct
tougher
me.
fight, and he's
I'm
gonna be
speaking from
confident.
boxing knowledge.
You gotta take
Now,
that
if we're speaking realistic, you should be able to get if you're not protecting your chin and somebody's a puncher, it should put you to sleep or put you down or hurt you some type of way. Let me see. I bet you I'm East Boxing Championship. I bet you Beast will figure that out. What the player test is doing. What do you think? Well, that Beast will figure something out. What you mean? What's the play testers do? Exactly. What do the play testers do? That's a good question. What are the play testers good for? Why do they actually have them there? They're a waste of everybody's time. It's like they just using them just to say, because it makes it look like you got a team of players. I mean, team of people that's doing helping with your game being a better product. But in real life, it's not. And play test is just a waste of everybody's time. And I'm shocked that they still have them as play testers. People can get mad at me all they want. Like I said, do what you gotta do.
Go back to this whole flash kill random RNG. But here's the thing. I don't even know if it'll be RNG at that point. So the other scenario is that you're beating up somebody. Let's just say you're throwing maybe 300 more punches, and you're landing 300 more punches than that person. And then suddenly in the 7th, 8th round, the guy hits you with a punch. And you get
Okay, now
knocked
you're
out.
switching
And in
on.
most cases, it's always
I
a
need you
body
to
shot.
focus on
It's a
what you're
liver
doing.
shot or something, right?
You don't want to lose this fight, do you? Come on.
But that's the other
You've
thing
let
is
him
that
back into
they
this.
make a
You're
video
better than
showing
this
that
kid.
case, then why is that
Good work.
happening?
Now that's it. Now breathe.
How is that
Breathe. Just
possible?
get your breath back. Good. Come on, you're better than that. Let's
The other
get,
Yeah,
guy
get
is
your
beating
boxing
to a
back
pulp,
together.
and he's
Come
able
on.
to land
Don't
up
let him back
one
in or
perfect
anything.
shot and get
Don't
the
give him
flash
no free
KO to
shots.
the body all
Come
the
on.
time.
Kid, what are you
But
doing?
here's the
Come
thing
on,
now, as a
switch on.
player, I've did
Switch
that as well.
on.
I
Now
was
listen,
getting
kid, I
beat
need
up,
you
and
to
then
go
I
back
said, okay, I
out
only
there.
have
I
one
need you to
opportunity. I'm just
do
gonna
it.
try to time that shot, and I got it. So, but that's me thinking to do it.
Sounds like Westcom said Beast probably could probably make a video testing the RNG flash too.
Here's another funny thing to think about this RNG flash theory. So, what exactly is a random number generator?
I think it's kind of subjective to be honest. Let me look.
What in computer terms, right? It's like it's a
Yeah,
function in the computer language, and when you activate it, you go and you click in a random thing, and it'll spit out. You just to say you feel okay. I want from 0 to 100, and then it randomly generates every time you hit the button on it, right? Why would
yeah,
why would Steel City use a random number generator anyways in a boxing game? What purpose would that serve?
yeah.
Because
It doesn't really make sense.
it doesn't make any sense, because if a guy throws a punch, why would that? Okay, if his right hand's rated 90 attribute, right? Where would the random number generator come into place now? In terms of like, what is it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Like
Well,
I'm
you
just,
don't
I'm
know.
just trying to figure out. I'm just trying to figure it out. Because if you have a chin attribute and you have a punch attribute, where does the random part come into play?
That to me that that says a lot right there. Your chin attribute, your stamina, your fatigue, and everything. Where
Listen,
you've been
you
getting
switched
hit
off.
at.
What
All
are you
these should
doing?
make
You getting soft on me?
mean
Hey,
something.
the fight's not over
When
yet. You
people
gotta get
can't
out there and
detect a
win this round,
pattern,
kid.
they assume
Yes, I like
there
that
is
round.
no
Good round. You
pattern.
feel good? Good man.
Doesn't
Good
mean
man.
it's
Okay,
true.
you let him back into the fight
That's
that
true.
round. That's his
That's
round.
true.
Let's do it.
No, but e-boxing champ, you're saying that I can't detect the pattern, or you mean this in terms of like the flash KO being random?
Oh, I know that's what we're talking about.
No, I'm not sure.
You see, and answer back. Yeah,
Like this whole random number generator too, it comes from these guys that play Dungeon and Dragon games. When you
Hey,
think
buddy,
about
you
it,
all right?
that's what it sounded like when I first heard the word. I heard it a lot behind the scenes, but not people like really saying it. I'm like,
but that's what
yo,
it
that
is.
sounds.
It's that whole concept in Dungeon Dragon. You're rolling dices and shit, you know, or in the, whatever's happening in the back, and maybe once in a while you might get random luck or something.
Oh, he's saying Orin. He said Orin may
Oh, okay,
be
so he's just
assuming
okay. So
Orin.
he says you can't detect the flash kill. Okay. And I said even too at one point when I first started noticing it, I right away I saw this kind of reminds me of like Mario Kart or EA games where they always have they always have that last minute comeback scenario that's
Yeah,
programmed into the game.
yeah,
But even so, that's not random then. That's the game is being designed that way
that's
because
how. Yeah,
they're trying to invoke your adrenaline and this is a more fun kind of thing, right? But you see that in all these sports games do it, but that's not random.
Okay, focus. Big deep breaths. Big deep breaths. Calm yourself down. Calm yourself back.
I
Come
don't
on.
know. Let me.
Breathe. Breathe.
Blaster
Nice work.
X1.
Good round. Good round. I like that.
He's saying
I'm
that the
happy.
Oh, what
RNG
was that?
claim
What are you
doesn't make
doing?
much
Come
sense
on, you're switching off.
Just set him up and you'll take him out.
unless they could
He's ready to go.
somehow
He's got-
prove
okay.
it, man.
You let him back into the fight that round. That's his round. You're starting to make mistakes and you're switching off. I need you to switch back on. Get
Yeah,
focused.
that's
Get
the
your mind
thing. We
back on the
gotta
draw.
show.
Get that
If
all
some
ready.
people don't
That right
believe
hand's
us, we
beautiful.
should be
That's
able
it.
to
And
pull
just
up
stick a few body shots in.
Okay.
information. Like I be saying when
Focus.
people saying I
Big,
can't
big-
do something, and I know that. I mean, some certain things can't be done. I know people just want a challenge to make me be quiet, but when I show stuff, they're gonna say that I'm not talking about you, or but you know I'm saying in general. You know, people always they want me to show. I mean, proof about everything. Everything. Even if I show the truth, I mean the proof, a lot of people still gonna disagree with.
So yo,
Let's see what is essential Russian roulette, so you can throw the same punch over and over until you finally get the bullet is random. You
you know what's
cannot
another
other people speaking.
you know what's another way you could you know what's another way that you could say that. Basically we're saying that undisputed they program the arms as slot machines. It's a slot machine mechanic that it's programmed that you're supposed to hit jackpot after what, I don't know, I'm making this number but I know it's programmed. It's like after every 100,000 plays it'll hit 777 every 100,000 chances kind of stuff. I
Yeah,
don't think I really don't think they Steel City was that idiotic enough to program it like a slot machine.
no, because a lot of people, if you listen to some people, they keep saying that they're losing their fights in the last round. So that's
Right.
not random. Random would be if you get knocked out the first punch or the last punch. That's random. But when you start taking out all these different equations and saying certain equations, and I'm not getting or I'm being truthful to what I'm saying. Random is 1 to 100 or more. That's random. So if you get hit with one punch or 100 punches, that's random. Because if everybody keep getting knockouts in the last round, or say the seventh, the eighth, what it's 8 rounds, the sixth, seventh, or eighth round. If you keep getting hit, that's a pattern. That's not random no more. It's a pattern. That means they were hard coded for that to happen.
And here's
Random.
the thing.
Go ahead.
Here's the thing too, and that's 7, 8 round. If let's just say you're more vulnerable to get flash KO, because now we're saying, okay, it's not random. It's somehow in those rounds, it's like something's happening. If I know I'm up on the cards by the seventh, let's just say by the seventh round, if I know if I'm up by 2, 3 points, I'm not gonna fight I'm not gonna fight aggressive. I'm gonna stand there and just block all your punches then, and just try to win it, and that makes sure I'm not gonna get catch by a lucky shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I say lucky, I don't mean random. I mean like I give them the opportunity to hit me with a wide open shot,
And you're not protecting that part of your
and I'm
body.
not. Yeah, I'm like at that point I'm shutting it down. I'm just protecting myself, and it doesn't
Yeah.
happen. I've never had it happen after.
Yeah, that's see a lot of things people got to take into consideration in it, but
This
they're
bout
they're accepting one way because when we talking about random, we can look certain things up. Random, what does random mean? So when you saying random, it's from or more, 1 to 100 or more. So it's not random. If everything's happening in the seventh and eighth round, because I keep hearing people say, "Yeah, I'm getting flash knocked out in the eighth round or the seventh round," and my first thing I always ask them, "Were you using defense?" Because if you're using defense and you got hit, that's random too. That's also random because your defense didn't mean anything. That's random. You got knocked out because you got hit on the glove. That's random. So we gotta have context about certain things. Everything gotta have context so we can know what we really telling them that's wrong with the game. Honestly, extremely effective fights are vulnerable. No, honestly, extremely active fighters are vulnerable to counterpunch in real life. Tank versus Santa Cruz is exactly. And I think we made that point yesterday. Pacquiao and Marquez. All these different fights where people they just boom got random and got hit, but they wasn't protecting themselves. Random is when you cannot create the exact same experience and get the same result. Yeah, but when we say that people are keep losing fights in the sixth, seventh, or eighth round, at the same pace, that means that's a pattern. I'm good with patterns. That's a pattern. It's crazy for people to keep losing in the sixth, seventh, and eighth round.
All right, now you're
What
switching
is
off.
random
You've
would be,
completely
hey,
switched off. Get
I
your
got
mind
knocked
back
out
on
in
the
the
job.
first
That
round
was a
and
terrible
within
round,
two
that was.
minutes or
Come on.
something like that. That's
This
random.
fight.
If we're being honest with ourselves, with numbers and stuff. I have tested the Flash event for 100 of hours. I've been Flash KO'd with one punch probably 3 times out of nowhere with one punch and full health. The other times I have emptied my tank and got tank and going for a KO.
We actually got called a crown, but
Oh, okay, okay. Orin, no, what happens is in those rounds the odds increase. it becomes that there are now 2 or 3 bullets in the gun while playing Russian roulette.
How
I
how
don't know,
you
man.
how you went from 1 to 3 bullets down, man? You know what this is sounding like? This is sounding like Mike Tyson's punch out every time they give you a little star, and you start to bank those stars after.
Yeah, that's not random though. No matter how you try to
Yeah.
frame it, it's not. I'm being honest with you. It's not random. If you look up the word random or examples for randomness, it'll tell that's not random because something already exists. Random is something that don't exist. Like like certain things exist. If a person keeps doing the same thing and they get in a six, I'm gonna add on 5, 6, 7, and 8. If people keep in them and them numbers, it's constantly the same thing. But you ain't never getting knocked stopped or knocked out in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or the fifth round. You know that randomness means you're getting affected in any of those rounds.
And
From
Come
my
on, do you want to
perspective,
win this fight? You've done all that work
I
all the
do
way
Yo,
through
think
camp,
flash
and now
knockouts
you're
are
going to go
random,
back
but
out
I
there and
think
lose the
flash
match? You got to
knockouts
get out
are
there,
rare if
switch
you
on,
have
and get...
good
Great work. I
long
love that.
term,
I love that. That
short
jab is slick.
term stance.
Okay, now you let him back
But my
into the fight
thing
there,
is,
round.
I
That's his
understand
round.
what y'all
You're
saying,
swinging to...
but
Can't miss him.
even a tired
Great work.
person has
Stay focused.
defense.
Don't let him back into the.
My
Buddy,
thing
what are
is
you
their
doing? Come on,
defense
switch on.
attached to
Switch on.
people
I need you to
getting
focus
knocked
on
out?
what you're doing.
What are they
You don't want to
doing?
lose this fight, do you? Come on.
Did
yo,
they get knocked out with a body shot and they didn't have no defense for that?
yo,
What you were saying?
is there any fighting game out there that has a random knockout effect or random knockout?
That's a good question.
Anything from even from Street Fighters to like if I think about wrestling games like Fire Pro for example, they have knockouts, but the knockout
Yeah.
happens when you keep on beating the shit out of the guy.
Yeah.
You're beating him to the point you hit him with freaking 4 or 5 finishers and the guy's and he's all tired and he gets knocked out eventually. And it's too much beatings, but I don't know, maybe that's one example to the fight. I don't know what else fighting games have these random knockouts.
I don't remember any. Let me see. He says stamina needs a tweak. Mike Adams said that stamina needs a tweak on the game, in my opinion. And I think they should make flash knockouts a little bit regular. It might be the case, but like I keep saying, it's still because people, certain things sound like people taking away from. Hey, if he got a good chin or bad chin. My thing is, suppose we had Holyfield in the game the way Holyfield, the original Holyfield, the young Holyfield. Do does that make sense to do certain things? What you saying?
Has anyone ever heard Ash or any like early development videos that they spoke about what did they use for the KO system? Like how did they take into account how a KO, like how you manufacture a KO?
Dad, I forgot about that. It was saying it was
on,
made
you're better than that.
the
I
way
need to go
actor
back out
talking
there
then
and
it
you
sounds
win this
better.
round. Get your mind back, get your
Well,
focus back, and get that jab back.
the
This
most
boxing,
definite
be
way is that
smart.
Yes,
if
I
somebody
like that
catches you and
round.
your stamina
Good
bar
round. You
is
feel good?
flashing,
Good man.
What
then
are
you're
you
gonna get hit
doing?
with a
You've
flash
switched
KO.
off completely. Don't
And not
worry
even
about
and
that.
not all
That
the time
right
too.
hand is beautiful.
But that's
That's
like
it. Just
that's the
start
one
sticking a few
door.
body shots
If
in
you
there.
open that door, you'll get
be
hit.
a business.
He said 617 said the the old Akai 64 wrestling games had random kills. They were rare though. I
Yeah,
remember that.
yeah.
I remember
If you
that.
hit somebody with a like a finisher, then it might come out of nowhere.
Yeah. But we got to think about where do we stand in the modern era? He said, "Oh, clock." I mean, Oren said they said in the beginning there's not a vulnerability system. They did say that. They said they was gonna add it, but they never had a vulnerability system. Um, let me see a clockwork. This what Adam was saying. A clockwork since your video on bobbleheaded on undisputed. I swear more bums are doing it now, more than ever online. Yeah. See that's the thing right there. When y'all say bobbleheads, what do y'all mean by bobbleheading?
There there are two ways you could do it, but it's the weave mechanic. They're moving left to right, left to right. Maybe sometimes they'll put up the guard and do it as well. They do it quick, almost to create a shield effect. But for
So
me,
it's
like,
not implemented.
well, it's when you see guys fight, it looks funny, right? Because it's obviously they're trying something smart. You know what I mean? They're trying to.
Yeah,
They're not really playing they're not playing the
Okay,
game the
okay,
way
you're
the
letting
game
back
is
into
supposed to
that
be
fight, and
played.
that's
But
his
what
round.
what could possibly work? That's the thing, right? But the thing is,
yeah,
when I see them, it usually I don't know. It doesn't work on me unless there's major desync. If I see somebody doing that, I already know. Okay, well, I can tag them to their body every time because they're stuck. They're stuck doing that. They're not moving
yeah.
anymore. Oh,
Yeah, because he said Adam said they should take a leaf out of Fight Night book, revamp the scoring system to award aggression more. I think it should always be the referees on the referees because you got some referees they're gonna see the aggression, the other person gonna look at technique and points scored. Because aggression and scoring points don't mean the same thing. So we gotta be careful with what we say.
Mike Adams, serious, undisputed doesn't have arm fatigue.
And suppose that I don't know. It looks crazy and all else.
I know I know that if the way my guy fights in the first round, as the fight progresses, he doesn't fight the same way. He starts to slow down a bit. There's some kind of fatigue system.
But is it harder for you to throw punches? That's what body fatigue and the arm fatigue. I, they were saying that they had arm fatigue at some point. I heard people say they had it,
What
but
the
I
thing
don't
is
know.
this: the punches, as the fight progresses, your punches start to kind of slow down and they're not as accurate. But the thing is that the same thing as punch fatigue? That how is that the same thing with how they do the fight night champion?
Oren said at Mike, yeah, bobbleheading is a big problem. Man, one of the main reasons I stopped playing. And for reference, Poe bobbleheading is what the SGA league do. That's
No
funny.
fucking. But the thing is, because we can't do manual block, this probably goes back to the manual blocking. Because you can't stand up and do manual blocking. The only way you could do it is to move side to side while you're blocking, so you can bring up your shield to cover the side of your head. That's the only way you could do it.
Yeah,
If we have manual blocking, you could actually stand. You don't have to lean left or right. You could just bring it up yourself.
yeah, that's true. But my thing with the manual blocking, I'm pro and manual blocking, but my thing is, are you for? I mean, is everybody gonna be forced to use a blocking style that's not realistic to a boxer?
Well, yeah, the way undisputed, it's gonna be generic.
Yeah. What y'all up there laughing about? The bobblehead conversation?
But the barber, that's how they're doing catch and shoot.
Oh, I didn't know that. Sound weird to say that. That's how you use how you catch and shoot stuff.
Because that's what I'm saying. Because you can't. Because the only way to bring up your shield to cover the side of your head, you have to. So basically, you're using the block button and you're leaning to either whatever side you want to shield, and that shoots the side of your head. So that's one of the reasons why they're trying to do it. So if you try to do like a quick you try to shield both sides real quick while the guy's punching, there's a chance maybe you might glitch the game.
Wow. That's crazy. Let me see.
But yo, what were you saying about the clinching?
I forgot. We was talking about something about how they gotta bring somebody asked to bring clinching back. I think it was Adams said it.
But in the history of boxing games, has there ever been a clinching system where you actually see the guys tussling?
Yeah, Fight Night. Knockout Kings. I could have sworn I saw the Knockout Kings. And I seen
Knockout
another
Kings?
game.
I'm gonna go back and think because the clinching system we've seen for the last, I guess, since Fight Night Champion, it's the one where it's, I guess, it's just you just grab onto the guy and that's it. And there's really no inside fighting, nothing. You don't really see it's just they're locked until somebody pushes off.
I'm trying to think, and I think I've seen more than one game with the clinching, like in the inside fighting and stuff. Trying to remember, I can't remember. And round 4, the clinch looks like a slow dance. Yeah, I remember that.
Okay, now you've led him back into the fight that round. I need you to get back out there. I need you to win this round. Get your mind back. Get your
yeah, but or if I want to catch and shoot somebody throwing a hook,
great round. Now relax.
I can lean left or right to catch it. If I want to make sure I catch the hook.
No catch and shoot can be done just by blocking. I don't think Undisputed has arm fatigue, does it? That's what I was wondering. I thought somebody said it did. Because you can see 4 lead hooks to the head, same pace.
Knockout. So I gotta go check out one of the knockout things to see how that plays out. Yeah. I can't remember it.
It's like, oh, they're making up.
But let me ask you this: if you had the ability to have tussles so you're tussling in the clinch, do you see some kind of could there be a mini game out of that as well? Or something that's to your attributes.
Yeah, I think the thing was almost like a mini game. I forget. I don't know because I play a lot of wrestling games too, and I always be saying, well, this should be added in a boxing game. I might be conflicting stuff, but yeah, it can work.
So it kind of be like what do you call chain grappling.
Yeah. Oh man, don't get me started on the catch and shoot. I had to change the way I play because of that crap they put in. But my thing is, as a boxing fan, some of the stuff that really in boxing, we can't say, hey, we don't want that. No, you got to find a way to defeat that. Because a lot of people, they don't want certain styles, they don't want certain things that they see in boxing that they think shouldn't be a part of boxing.
Don't worry about that round.
No,
Let's go
that's
out there.
you.
Let's
But
reset. Forget about
you can't
that
make
round. It's a
people
bad round,
deny,
all right?
you
We don't
can't
care.
deny
Go out
people
there.
of
Okay,
what
I'm happy.
boxing
I
really
like that
is.
round.
Even
Good
though you
work.
might agree with
Get
this,
focused.
agree
Get your
with,
minds
or
on the job.
disagree with
Get back
that.
out there and win the
If
round.
you have a
In your
boxing
power
game,
shots.
you might be
Good
able
work.
to
Don't forget
correct
the jab
these things
and don't
for
get
Come on,
yourself.
you let him back into the fight.
But don't
You're much
force,
better than this guy.
certain things
You're
on
much better.
people.
He's
That's
not in
not
your
realistic.
league. Come on, switch on. Get your boxing back together. Put him back on him this round. I need you to
Focus. Let's do it.
Like when I be saying things, I'm not trying to force y'all to do anything. My thing is I'm telling you what's realistic to me, what is real. You know, like when people say, well, everybody got their own way of seeing things, but boxing is boxing, no matter how you see it. When you say people, when people say people see things differently, a casual fan and a hardcore fan gonna definitely see things differently. But the thing is that casual fan willing to learn. Nobody ain't gatekeeping or none of that. Are they willing to learn? Just like me, like I keep saying, I I love Tekken, but I'm not like the major guys. Why would I even pretend like I'm like, hey, I know I'm a Tekken fan, and man, I be doing good. Nah. But when it come to a boxing game, y'all always try to dumb it down. If they use physics to govern getting tired, hold up. Leafy popped back in. I think fighting at round four is still the greatest boxing game currently made. If they use physics, no, this is what East Boxing saying. If they use physics to govern getting tired getting tied up, you could probably do clinching, fighting easy. Exactly. But when we seen the early version and the ESBC version, we saw inside fighting in the game. And it seemed like somebody said, hey, we can't get them this because they like literally stopped working on it. Like, hey, we're gonna show them what we can do, but we're not gonna do it. Why do they keep showing us all these things and they did not start working back on them? Because they was like, hey, we gotta get set for a fight. Undisputed too.
Stop what you doing? Come on, you're
You
switching
know,
off. You got complacent. Right, let's
what,
go.
this thinking about that clinch and the whole idea that we haven't seen anything with a tussle yet. Somebody mentioned Knockout Kings probably had it, right?
Yeah.
But the thing is, at the same time, is the when you, like if you were to think about how would you want that, how would you want it to talk about the physics, I guess, right? So you have
Yeah.
UFC 5 where you have that you have a grappling system, that style of grappling system, that style of touching. You know what I mean? Touching and interacting. Or would you rather have a interaction system more like an NBA 2K? So you know when two guys in NBA they touch, they're playing like you're trying to play D on somebody and you bump them, you bump them, you bump them, and you have that kind of contact.
Yeah, I think the UFC version probably be or hybrid, both of them.
But you
But I
think that
think
you think the way UFC does contact would be better for boxing than how how
not
the contact system
exactly.
looks in it.
Yeah, not exactly, but yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Boxing.
5. Can you continue?
Because what I kind of envision with the clinching is their arms should be touching and bumping too. You could bump.
Yeah.
There's
But
this
you can
kind of like
actually put your
you
arms
can
out and stop somebody.
yeah, or if you're inside, you can kind of lean on somebody. You know what I mean? Like that kind of physical contact. We haven't seen that in the game.
Hmm. I
So
seen that in the game. Clinching
see
somebody,
it?
You're taking too
yeah,
much
make
to
them
fight
tired
for.
because they struggling trying to break break the clinch. I seen it in I think in one of the fight night games. Not the knockout games, the fight night. I think I seen it in there too. Clinching somebody and they losing their energy and stuff because they trying to fight to get a loose or something like that. Or y'all fighting on the inside. Let me see.